What's up, everybody? It's JT Sports back to you guys with another video. In this video, I'm going to be giving my explanation why the Buffalo Bills, I believe, are the biggest sleeper team going into the 2019 NFL season. Now, before I begin, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I upload NFL videos and college football videos daily. And let's get into it. So, the Buffalo Bills. I believe a lot of people are sleeping on the Buffalo Bills. The whole entire AFC East division got better, other than the Miami Dolphins, who took a step back. The New York Jets improved in free agency and in the draft. They're improved. The New England Patriots arguably are a better team than what they were last season, despite losing two of their best players in Rock Gronkowski and their leading pass rusher, Trey Flowers. And the Buffalo Bills, they improved a lot also, not during the draft, but also in free agency. And a big reason why I believe the Buffalo Bills are going to be the biggest sleeper team going into the 2019 NFL season, the first reason is because of Josh Allen. Josh Allen, going into his second year, has a completely better supporting cast than what he had last season, his rookie year. I mean, this guy's wide receiving core was absolutely terrible. Literally, this wide receiving core on YouTube has a 5-minute video of nothing but drops and bad plays. That's not good. And that's a big reason why Josh Allen was held back by this Buffalo Bills offense, because he didn't have any reliable wide receivers besides Zay Jones. Now you give Josh Allen wide receivers that you can actually rely on, in Cole Beasley and John Brown. They might not be the flashiest guys, but these guys are reliable. They get the job done. Cole Beasley, longtime Cowboys, not the flashiest guy, but he's a very slippery guy. Always a reliable option to go to on third down for Tony Romo, Dak Prescott. Very reliable hands, runs very good routes. And also John Brown, one of the better deep threats in the NFL, who had a pretty solid year with the Baltimore Ravens. And Josh Allen, with a better receiving group than what he had last year, is going to be able to take a big step ahead in his second year as a starter in the NFL. And when we look at his stats, his rookie season, 2,074 passing yards, 10 touchdowns to 12 interceptions, completed 52.8% of his passes. Josh Allen was exactly what everybody thought he was when it came to passing the football, Completed 52.8% of his passes. His accuracy wasn't the best. We all know that. On social media, every time you log into Instagram, you go on the NFL memes page, and they always have a meme about Josh Allen overthrowing his wide receivers and his inaccuracy, but it wasn't entirely his fault. His wide receiving core just wasn't that good. Now you actually give him a good, solid wide receiving core with reliable wide receivers. And also, it's just not the wide receiving core, the offensive line as well, Josh Allen carried the ball 89 times, had 631 rushing yards, 8 touchdowns, had 7.1 yards per attempt. That was a lot. This guy surprised a lot of people with his athleticism and his athletic ability. Now, we already knew this guy coming out of college had a little bit of athleticism. But you would be lying if you were to tell me you expected Josh Allen to be that electric, more electric than Lamar Jackson. Now he has an offensive line. They improved that offensive line and free agency drastically. They signed center Mitch Morse, who is one of the best pass blocking centers in the NFL last season. Pro Football Focus gave him an 81.2 pass blocking grade. They also signed tackle Ty, I hope I'm saying this name right, Nesicki, who was a solid backup for the Washington Redskins. They also brought in some additional offensive line depth with, guys like Spencer Long and John Feliciano. They also drafted versatile offensive lineman Cody Ford out of Oklahoma in the second round of this year's NFL draft, who at Oklahoma played both offensive guard and offensive tackle, has experience playing both, but is projected to be the Buffalo Bills starting right tackle going into the 2019 NFL season. This Buffalo Bills offensive line is very improved. Even though they lost, two former Pro Bowlers and Rich Incognito, who semi-retired, then came out of retirement, now plays for the Oakland Raiders. And they also lost Eric Wood, who was a former Pro Bowler as well. So they lost two former Pro Bowlers, addressed that need and free agency, added some additional offensive line depth, and drafted Cody Ford. The Buffalo Bills now have a solid offensive line who can now give Josh Allen protection. And that's a big, big thing. In the offensive line, this game is still about the trenches. You still have to be the better team up front if you want to win the game. You're not going to win a lot of games if you're going to have Josh Allen running the ball 100 million times, running for his life back there, trying to win ball games. Now Josh Allen has a solid offensive line with a solid wide receiving core. Now all Josh Allen has to do is improve his accuracy, get better in the pocket, and he is going to be a very, very good quarterback for years to come. And the success of this Buffalo Bills team, 90% of it is riding on how good Josh Allen is going to be. And if he's able to take a step ahead in year two of his NFL season, this Buffalo Bills team is going to be able to make the playoffs. But let's not just talk about the Buffalo Bills offense. Let's talk about how good they are on the defense side of the ball. On the defense side of the ball, they drafted defensive tackle Ed Oliver to replace longtime defensive tackle Kyle Williams, who retired. And now you draft Ed Oliver, who is a new breed of a defensive tackle. Normally, the last couple of years, traditionally NFL coaches and NFL general managers, they wanted their defensive tackles big and fat. They wanted their defensive tackles built to clog up those lanes and take up large lumps of space. A good example of a player like that would be a guy like a Vince Wilfork. Vince Wilfork was a guy who most teams, the last couple of years before this new NFL, they wanted a guy like Vince Wilfork who could take up a lot of space. He was your normal prototypical defensive tackle. Now it's the NFL, the schemes get more advanced, get a little bit more difficult to defend. You want faster guys up front, like an Ed Oliver. He might not be a 350 pounder like a Vince Wilfork, but this guy, Ed Oliver, is one of the most athletic defensive tackles I have ever seen in my life. He's explosive. He's fast, has quick first step, has good hands. A finesse guy. He can get after the passer. He can also make plays in the run, has a high motor. This guy is a 3-down defensive tackle. He can rush the passer. He can stop the run. And he is what you want in a defensive tackle in this new day and age of the NFL. This guy is a monster. He is going to have a very, very successful NFL career. And then we also have to go to the secondary. The Buffalo Bills were one of the best teams on the defensive side of the ball when it came to stopping the pass. And it all starts with their secondary. They had their cornerback, Tre'Davious White, who was, by Pro Football Focus, one of the best top 25 players under the age of 25. They also had safety Micah Hyde, who was rated the 6th best safety by Pro Football Focus during the 2018 NFL season. We also can't forget about linebacker Tremaine Edmonds, who didn't really have that high of a Pro Football Focus grade, but had, in my opinion, a pretty solid rookie campaign as he had 121 tackles, 2 sacks, and 2 interceptions. They also brought in former Houston Texans first rounder Kevin Johnson, who has a lot of upside if he's able to stay healthy. So this Buffalo Bills team, when you look at this entire roster, the running back position, they might be a little bit old there. They have Frank Gore, you have LaShawn McCoy, but they also have young guys there. They have guys like Devin Singletary, who was one of the best running backs in all of college football for the last 2 seasons. They also brought in TJ Yeldon, who is a very balanced back. You can split him out wide. He's very good at catching passes as well. So they have a lot of depth at the running back position. if a guy like LaShawn McCoy battled injuries all throughout 2018, and a guy like Frank Gore, who although Frank Gore doesn't have the injury issues and concerns like a guy like LaShawn McCoy, he's a lot older, but Frank Gore is also a guy who can get the job done. But also they have guys who can back up those guys if one of those guys suffers an injury. They have depth at the running back position, have a solid wide receiving core, a better offensive line than what they had last year, and Josh Allen going into year 2 should be able to have a better season than what he had last season because his wide receiving core wasn't that good. So if Josh Allen takes a step up and improves with this supporting cast that he has around him, this Buffalo Bills team has potential to be very, very good. And that's why I think they are the biggest sleeper going into the 2019 NFL season. I believe this Buffalo Bills team can make it to the playoffs and they can finish second in the AFC East. I think they are a better team than the New York Jets because they're better on the defensive side of the ball. And, I like Josh Allen a lot more than I like Sam Darnold because I think Josh Allen has a lot more potential than Sam Darnold. Josh Allen has a big arm. He's crazy athletic. This guy was doing hurdles, spin moves. He was a human highlight reel. But this Buffalo Bills team is going to be very, very good. And if Josh Allen develops just a little bit, he doesn't have to take a tremendous step ahead, just a little bit of development. This Buffalo Bills team, I believe, can make the playoffs. And that's why I believe the Buffalo Bills are the biggest sleeper going into the 2019 NFL season. Let me know what you guys think about this down in the comment section down below. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more NFL videos and content. And thanks for watching.